Okay, we are official. Good morning. This is Scott Buckholz. It is Saturday, November 20th, and welcome to our National Zoom property tour. We do these every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, and we love to bring out investors from our community as we are a national community of investors who collaborate with each other, who do deals with each other, who learn with each other. It's an amazing community I found a little over 6 years ago, and I am so blessed and honored to be a part of it. Today, we're going to be featuring Umair Haq. He is one of our top investors in our community, one of our top income earners, and he's a great mentor and friend to me. Again, guys, we love for that you have taken an hour out of your day to join us today. I'm not going to take any more time from Umair. Umair, are you ready to come out and start sharing
What's
with
up?
folks on?
I am. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello.
Yes,
Awesome,
we
guys.
can. Loud and clear, Umair. Loud and clear. Now, Umair, there's a lot of folks on today that maybe this will be their first property tour, or maybe have never seen or heard from you as far as an investor or a presenter. So obviously, you're going to share your story, but I love hearing it every time as well. So I probably have heard it 20 times, but I want to hear it again. So you take over. You look great, man. You look fantastic. I loved your pictures from Dubai. Oh my gosh, those were amazing pictures from Dubai. I'm sure
Dude,
that
if
was
I,
an
if I
experience of
wasn't
a lifetime.
if I wasn't so brown, I'd be blushing right now. You're awesome, dude.
You crack me
Much.
up. Well, take it over, brother.
All right, man. Well, good morning, everybody. And Scott, thank you for introducing me. It's just amazing how many awesome friends I've met. And if you're listening today for your first time, I can't wait to meet you in person, have you a part of the group and team, and see you do deals. So usually we do these things, these property tours live at the property. But I've been able to build a pretty good income stream in an area that's not where I live. All right. So I've got a PowerPoint slide set up. I want you to ask questions, and some of you guys might even be hanging out with me. Columbia, South Carolina, Precious Darby, Columbia. I got a bunch of houses right next to you in Columbia, or near Columbia. So awesome. Let me share my screen, guys. You should be able to see my desktop, and I have created a PowerPoint just to make this informative. I want everybody to get something out of this. So I live in the Washington, D.C. area, and houses are at least $500,000 and up. I mean, even a 3-bedroom, 2-bath Rambler. And you can make money in any market. I've done fix and flips. I've done land development. But I had an opportunity to explore another state, and the cash flow was great. So I jumped on it. So here we go. So a little bit about me, if you guys don't know me. My name's Umair, born and raised in Virginia. I've been investing now 6.5 years, going on 7 years. I can't believe this. Time just flies. But originally, I'm from Virginia. Like I said, I went to elementary school and high school. Then I tried to go to the community college here locally, and I was struggling. I'm not a great student. I'm ADD. I guess that's what they said, but I never took any prescriptions because my foreign parents wouldn't let me. So I'm ADD, was not good at school. I struggled. Like, my GPA sucked. And so I tried to go to community college here, and it just wasn't for me, guys. I mean, they were teaching me making me take classes that I knew that I would never use in life. And I'm like, I like making money. I like making moves. I like doing things. So I stopped going to community college, and I started learning. I wanted to make more money. So I looked into the stock market, and I was like, man, a lot of people, lose money gambling in the stock market. Then I looked into accumulating precious metals and gold, but I was like, I don't have any savings to do that. And I started learning real estate from like the University of YouTube. I was on Bigger Pockets. I would learn from these gurus. I would spend money here, spend money there. But ultimately I was solo. I was living in my mom and dad's basement. I remember I've done some pro boxing and some mixed martial arts. I was an athlete growing up. Man, I didn't want to get punched in the face for a living. I was forced to do it for a little bit. Like I've done it even on the professional level, but that was never my end game. And it sucks when you're broke and you're actually having to do something physical to make a little bit of money. And so in addition to prof- uh, competing professionally, I was driving Uber. I was even delivering food with this company, and I hated this. It was a company called Postmates. It's like a food delivery service thing over here in Washington, D.C. And like I randomly was on the way home from the gym one night and I saw this sign in my parents' neighborhood because I was living in their basement and it said real estate investor seeks students. And I was like, I'd already been burnt, I'd already lost money. I thought I found a mentor, but he ultimately ended up stealing money from me. And it took me a long time to save up money. So I've been hit a couple times. And then I just found this group and I plugged in, I did my research. I didn't base my results off of hope. I think hope is for losers. And I was losing in life when I was basing things off of hope. And so now I'm logical, I'm calculated, and I'm just excited to share with you my journey done. Throughout this whole thing, I couldn't do this without my wife. So it's not that I've done a lot of deals. Me and my wife have built a business together and now we're helping people and we do this full time. I mean, this is my full-time gig. And I'm just blessed, man. If you guys can even pick up one thing today, that'd be awesome. If you seriously need help and you want a step-by-step process, help us help you. So enough about me. Let's dive into this. So in the last 16 months, so I was doing business in other states, and then I came to the realization that I don't like some states because there's certain landlord tenant laws that work against me. So I did my research and I decided to, before I go into that, well, you guys know I'm in this state, right? I said I'm in South Carolina. I talked to you guys a little bit about myself, but my goals here were the following, okay? I noticed that the wealthiest institutions in the world are the banks. So I was like, I want to be the bank. I want to make as much money as the banks. The banks never lose. So one of my goals was, man, I want to be the bank. Another one of my goals is I love helping people. And with the business model that I'm going to show you guys today, I help others obtain homeownership. Okay, so I basically finance other people, their houses in creative ways that I've learned with this group and team. So I'm going to talk to you guys about that. Another one of my goals is, guys, I wanted to create cash flow that me and my wife could live off of without being stressed out. When I grew up, I'm a foreigner. I grew up, my parents were stressed out. We were on food stamps. We didn't have money like that. And I saw how my mom and dad used to fight over what to buy, what not to buy, the things, the sports that I could play or I couldn't play because I couldn't even afford how you got to pay the little bit of money for the jersey and the pads and stuff like that. So when I got into this, I was like, I want to live a stress-free life. So I wanted big cash flow and the ability to grow long-term wealth. So it's one of the many reasons why I ultimately went with real estate investing, even when I didn't have a lot of money. And I'll show you kind of some deals I'm doing creatively. And of course, all my married people out here, I wanted to please my wife. Happy wife, happy life. All right. Thank you. Someone was unmuted and I got a good team to hook me up. So I wanted to please my wife. And of course, guys, I love helping others, right? Making money feels good, but helping to create duplicatable success in building long-term relationships with people that you've helped or you've pointed in the right direction, nothing feels better than that. So those were some of my goals here. Now, again, I'll show you like the same process that I followed, but in a nutshell, I buy houses with either my money or other people's money because I learned all about how to raise private capital using retirement accounts. A lot of Americans have their money in 401ks or 403bs or TSP plans, and they don't even know that there's alternative options like investing with guys like me. So I'm just going to show you some of my deals and hopefully you guys pick something up and I'll be able to answer questions. So this is one of my houses. And guys, I don't know where you live, but in Washington, D.C., like I said, houses are really, really expensive. This is a property that I bought this year. These are all recent. And I bought a number of properties from retiring landlords, or I found them through our software that you'll learn about. People don't believe me. Like my parents and my family didn't believe me. I bought this house for $17,000. It's just a it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. Now I put a little bit of money into this. So I'm all in for 30 G's. And what I do, guys, initially, and you can learn all about this. And then once you learn, I'd love to answer your questions and help guide people. But I bought this house, and then I sell these houses on what we call a lease option. So I make them prove themselves to me. So I have them rent it for 12 to 24 months. And as they're making on-time payments and they're taking care of the home, then like I charge an option fee up front. So I charge them up front for the option to buy this house at a later date. So then they rent it for a certain time period. And what I've been doing is, say I bought it, I bought it for 17, but then I charged them $3,000. Okay. But so that $3,000 comes to me as money. Now I'm renting this house out for $800 a month. But when they do what they say they're going to do, I bought this at such a deep discount, I end up holding the note for double, even sometimes triple what I bought it for. Like with this whole real estate investing thing, I didn't get it. But now, like with a stroke of a pen, guys, by understanding finances, I'm creating wealth, right? Just like the banks do. And so this is one of the houses. And if you have questions, write them down, because I know you're going to have a lot, especially if you're brand new into the game. But essentially, I buy houses cheap or at a discount. And then I do a lease with an option. That's like a probationary period, just to make sure the person can make on-time payments, is going to take care of the house. I don't ever deal with maintenance because of the way that we've structured our agreements. And then I end up selling it on what you call a note, right? A note. Or I do specifically a contract for deed type of situation, all right? So, okay, I'm gonna move on. So this is one of the houses in our portfolio, okay? Let me show you guys some more. So this is one that I bought from the same seller that I bought the previous house for. And so we negotiated a bundle deal. And again, I bought it for 18. I put 10 grand into it, carpet, paint, fix some things up. And so when I found the people who I wanted to sell this house to, they gave me $3,000. That's like they're down for the option to buy it at a set date. Okay. Now I'm renting it out for $800. And this one, since I liked the lady and her husband, I gave it to him for $79.9, but I'm still making double or triple profits over time. Okay. So it's just, I mean, it's so cool. Like I never thought that I can make so much money and help so many people, right? And they love me for it, guys. Like my tenants love me. In fact, my tenants find me houses. Exactly like the instructor that taught me this, because I didn't make this up. I've just been copying other successful investors. Okay. Success leaves clues. Here's another one here. This one, I bought like a portfolio of houses, and it's just another, and these aren't sexy houses. They're not like rehabs or beautiful houses, but they are cash cows. They are cash cows. So this one, this is what I call a legacy tenant. So I bought some houses with tenants already in place. And some of them are interested in doing the rent to buy opportunity. And some of them just aren't, right? And so I haven't jacked up the rents. So I'm renting it to them. If they don't bug me and mess with me too much, I'm not going to jack the rents up on them. So I've just kind of kept that one the same. So I'm making 550, right? But I really want you guys to think about your cash on cash return. Like these are solid investments that will appreciate over time. And they spin off cash flow that me and my wife live off of. Guys, between the 1st and the 5th of every month now, it's just like, it's like Christmas every month. It's awesome. And it's cool because I didn't think this is like, I didn't even believe in myself when I started this thing. I was like, man, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. But when you hang out with people on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and they're making more money than you and they're doing the things that you want to do, you naturally start changing. So this is another one of my houses, just a little house. Okay. Now I bought this. I haven't put any money into this. It was a little jacked up, right? Look how this thing is not pretty. But I sold this to like a handyman, and or I'm selling this to a handyman. I didn't add this in here. And so Keith and his wife Emily are fixing it up. They're doing all the improvements while they're renting it out, and then I'm going to end up selling it to them on a note. Okay, so they're taking pride of home ownership. This is another one that I bought. I put a little bit of money into it. I messed up here because I did this kind of quickly. So I purchased it for 28. I put a little, like 3 grand into this, and I'm currently making 550. It's just little cash machines. This one I recently bought, and the good thing about this house is it's on 14,000 square feet of land. So it's a little cinder block built house, and it's not even a 3-bedroom. This is just a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, but it's got 14,000 square feet on it. And so right next to it, I'm currently working on putting, because it's not on city sewer and water, it's on well. And basically, right next to this house, I'm going to put a trailer, like a mobile home. And so I'll be able to make double cash flow from making this purchase. So I'm really like always thinking ahead with all the houses I buy, like, what's the play? How am I going to, I start with the end in mind because I've learned how to do it through the course. And for this house, I bought it a little bit more expensive than I like. So 32, I put some money into it. But I recently charged an option for this, and I've got this rented out to this amazing young couple. It's funny, guys. They just got married last week, and I'm helping them start their new life together. And it just feels so good. Like it's amazing. So this is another one, guys. This is Cotton Street. So I want you to notice the trend. I buy low, okay, because I've learned how to buy cheap or negotiate discounts. And then I do a lease with an option, and there's some there's some things that you want to learn, the ins and outs, because there's rules and regulations that you got to follow or you'll get in trouble. And then I end up selling it on a note. All my houses are the same thing, but I'm doubling, tripling, sometimes even quadrupling the amount of profit that I make on these little cash machines. So instead of going and buying like a BMW or a Mercedes, like, for 50, 60, 80 grand, I buy houses first, and then my houses, they pay for my lifestyle. I can do whatever I want. I love it. I like having control. There's another one, Bomba Street. Good tenants here. So if they do good by me, I do good by them. And I'm not jacking the rents up on them. I could charge $800 a month for this brick house. It's a beautiful house. Good bones, but I'm keeping it at $650. So another one here. And so based off of like, because I listen to my tenants based off of their personality, who they are, how I feel, I'm doing them a favor, and I'm taking care of them as long as they take care of me. So I'll play around with the options that I charge, and I'll even play around with the interest rate. But if and when they go through their rental period and they take care of the house and they're good people, I'll either keep their monthly payment exactly the same, because I don't want to jack up their rents on something. I want to make sure that they can afford the house, right? I don't ever want to take advantage of someone. And if they've shown me that they can pay $650 for 24 months or 12 months, then I know that they can afford the payment. So I typically keep their mortgage payment to me the same, right? And I dictate whether it's a 10-year note or a 15-year note or a 30-year note. And this is the best part. I didn't say this yet. So just imagine that I have a family emergency and I need a big check, right? I know I'm making all these little checks every month, but let's just say I need a big check. Well, the beauty of the way that this group has taught me how to invest in real estate is in their relationships is if I ever need to cash out on any of these little houses, I can sell the note, right? You know how like when you go and you get a mortgage from a bank, it's over 30 years, you end up paying double or triple what the house is worth. But a lot of times your mortgage is repackaged and sold on what they call the secondary market. Okay. So what I could do is if I need to cash out is I can sell this note, and hopefully I'm not being too, I'm not saying things are going way over your head, but I can sell this note at maybe a little bit of a discount to a note buyer, right? And the note buyer is going to buy that note in their retirement account, or they're going to take that note and just earn a yield off of it. All right. So hopefully I'm not confusing you guys, but I'm doing this with a bunch of houses. My goal, guys, and I'll open it up for questions soon. My goal is to buy at least one house every single month for the next, 5 years. I want to have over 100 of these things. And then once I master one market, I've got a couple other markets that I'm feeling out that I want to do the same thing in. And then just live off the money, right? Just live off of it. So this is another one I got. Bought it for 25, put 5 into it. I'm all in for 30. I'm charging $800 a month. And this guy who bought this is a truck driver. He's not even there most of the time. And he just pays me rent. It's great. He puts his head down, gets back on the road, and he drives his truck. It's just him, no family, nothing. So another thing I wanted to show you guys is I got into mobile home parks. I love mobile home parks because you make money off of the lot rent. I know you guys are probably thinking trailer trash, but it's not true. There's so many baby boomers that have these big houses. All their kids have moved out. They don't want to live there anymore. So they're wanting to relocate in just these like little houses, like the tiny house movement, right? The husband and wife just want to live in a little park, be in nature, and be happy. So I bought this little 8-unit mobile home park, and guys, it's making me $3,500 a month. I've got 4 empty lots, and this park is on. So this is important if you're going to look into mobile home parks. You want to make sure, or it's a big benefit if it's on city sewer and city water. Okay. But I have these 4 lots that are empty, but the cost of these mobile homes have just gone crazy. Inflation is hitting everybody. It's crazy how bad and how expensive things are getting right now. And just, this is my ADD. Inflation is going crazy, right? Things are getting more expensive. We aren't getting paid more at our JOBs, or not anyone I know. But when you buy real estate, it's a fantastic hedge against inflation, because real estate typically appreciates at the pace or at the same speed of inflation. So there's multiple reasons why I just fell in love with real estate. And I'll never trade it for anything. I've got another 22-unit mobile home park that I've been negotiating for, it seems like forever. It's an older guy, and we talked the other day, and he didn't want to get hit with capital gains tax, right? But because I've learned many strategies, I want you guys to learn all the strategies that I've learned. I can't wait to show you how. But now he said, man, I don't want to get hit with capital gains tax, Umair. It's going to be a big, big tax on me. And then I said, well, because it's paid off free and clear, right? And I was like, well, what about I give you a little bit of money to take care of expenses, right? And I just make you monthly payments. And he goes, you could do that? And I said, yes, sir. And we could even use your local attorney to structure it. So, so now I'm structuring a little bit of what we call seller financing. And who knows, this guy is not a sophisticated investor. Maybe he just wants payments with no interest rate. So I'll keep you guys updated on what happens with that. But you guys we could do this market anywhere this strategy anywhere in America, right? And so I learned this from a guy named Bill Omi. I love this guy. He's one of our real estate investing instructors. Now, before I started buying houses, I had to set the foundation, right? I had to understand personal and business credit. I had to understand retirement accounts. I had to have a good tax plan, because in America, it's not about what you make. It's about what we get to keep. So after laying all the foundation, doing some fix and flips, doing land development, doing some wholesale deals to make some cash, raising money, after learning all that, I've just kind of fell into this model that works for me and my personality. I'm not saying it's going to work for you guys, but I'm more than happy to share it with you. You guys can take the class. I was actually in the class sharing what I've been doing from what this instructor has taught me. Okay. So now my next purchase, right? So I just found this one, and this is another elderly couple. They've got a huge portfolio, but we've just been talking about me buying this duplex. And so I'm gonna buy this thing, and I don't know if I'm gonna sell this on a lease with an option because it's a duplex, but we'll see. So in 16 months, guys, like some of you guys, like I used to make 30 grand a year. So, and if someone would have showed this to me when I was making 30 grand a year, I would have been like, no freaking way. Because I just didn't believe in myself enough to think that this is possible for me. But in 16 months, we've been able to create a gross rental income of 134,460 a year. Now I've been able to collect a little over $20,000 in just option fees. Okay. Now that option usually expires. So if my tenant doesn't exercise his or her option, I have them pay for another option to extend their time, their opportunity to buy the house. Now, keep in mind, I didn't factor in taxes and insurance and a little bit of deferred maintenance, but I typically structure my deals to where the end buyer, it's on him or her, unless it's something super major like a roof. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it. So let me check out. Hopefully you guys picked something up here. Now, right now our monthly income, gross income is 11,200, but that's just from the rents. I also charge pet fees if they have pets. I've been trying to create other ways of increasing my revenue, right? Starting January, I am going to increase the rents on some of the tenants whose rent hasn't changed for years, but not to a point where they can't handle it, right? Let's check out some questions, guys. Let's keep it moving. Let me check out, I see there's some questions in the chat box. I'm gonna start from the top and then I'll just go down. Now, if you guys wanna hang out with me, right after this, I am gonna be doing an orientation. I'm gonna be doing a training explaining our business model, our group, and how you can plug in and play the same way I did. So if you guys wanna hang out next, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be doing some trainings. I'll be able to elaborate on a lot of this stuff. So let me check the chat box and I'll answer some questions for you guys. But you can literally do this anywhere in America. But you want what we found is the best place to do this model is on the outskirts of the busy cities. Okay. Now there's different business models to make a ton of money in expensive areas. You just got to learn, right? You got to learn what you're doing and then make money. Okay, Precious Darby. So what is the first step after you find the house? How do you get it under contract? I have a contract and I negotiate the terms and the price. And then I sign and they sign. That's how you get it under contract. Then you take that contract and you give it to your attorney or your title company, and then you set a closing date, but you got to do your due diligence and make sure that it's going to make money and understand your tax consequences. There's more than just buying a house, guys. And this is why a lot of people lose money. This is why I was losing money, because I was putting my faith in other people, right? You got to put your faith in yourself. Understand first, make a plan, get educated, hang out with people that are doing what you want to do, and then build your wealth. I mean, I think all Americans deserve it, but most people, I don't know, maybe they don't want to work.
Hey, Amir.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, it's Scott. Hey, you shared early on today about your story, about kind of where you started and you were working multiple jobs and, college wasn't for you. And, how did you learn how to have these conversations with potential sellers? How did you learn how to offer and negotiate? I mean, I think a lot of people struggle with that in the very beginning or before they even get started. And then they end up having fear. And you know what fear does to people? It stops people. Yeah. So how did you learn all that? And how did you go about that?
That's a great question. And you're so right, man. Like when I first got into this game, before I met you guys in the group, I thought real estate agents knew everything. I thought they were the end all be all because I just wasn't educated. So I'd literally call agents trying to get information. And as soon as they picked up, I'd be so scared that I hang up the phone. So I completely get it. So I don't know how well you guys know our business model, but we help people that don't even have a lot of money to get started. And so after really learning, I started getting more and more comfortable talking to people from building the company expansion side of this business. I also got more comfortable on the phone and talking to people after listening to the class. I'll show you the class here in a minute. Listening to how the instructor, Bill Omi, was telling me, he taught me exactly how to have the conversations with private capital investors. So word for word, it's in the class. He taught me how to do that. And then before I did it with other people, I practiced on my friends and family. And it's funny, right? Because I was practicing on my friends and family, and a lot of them were like, hey, well, like, what about me? Can I invest with you? And it's just the craziest thing. So the coursework and the classes, and then being able to hang out with investors every week, it made me more comfortable having those conversations with sellers. And once you actually understand real estate investing, it builds your confidence. Like when I didn't know anything, I was so scared. But once I knew the numbers and I knew what I should buy it for, and it makes having the conversations easier. So hopefully that answered your question there. Any other questions, guys? Let's see. These houses are in South Carolina. I live in the Washington, D.C. area. I took a business automation class, and if whoever invited you here can tell you about that. And I learned how to automate a lot of it because, guys, I didn't want to be dealing with people calling me. I just wanted to get paid. And because we're in the 21st century, guys, there's technology. There's so much technology available to help you guys. Let me see what other questions. I'm going down the chat box to help you guys. What part of the country? How did you find the first house? That's a great question. One of the students inside of our group brought me that small mobile home park. And so I bought the mobile home park first, and I was like, whoa, this thing's a cash cow. And that's how I got started right there in that area. And then I started building relationships with attorneys, agents, other people. And then I wanted the local people in the area to know who I was and how I was different from every other landlord that they've ever met. And now my tenants and people that I know are actually finding me houses. Word of mouth advertising, baby. It's like the best thing you can do. Cool. So here we go. Cincinnati. Rehab is the money you use to correct what needs to be fixed, correct? Precious. Rehab is the money you use to correct. Yes. So rehab or your repairs, that's the money that I put into the property. And remember, when you put money into a property, you're doing what we call forced appreciation, right? When you fix it up, after it's done being fixed up, it's worth more. And if it's worth more, then as an investor, you can do more with it, right? So good questions right here. So G. Casey, is there a reason for not rehabbing? Yes, because I buy them and I give the opportunity for home ownership as is. I allow the future homeowner to make their house as however they want, right? They get creative, they paint it, they fix the floors, they add stuff. It helps them to take pride in home ownership. Anton, how do you research the town to invest and make sure people can afford these houses? So there's a class called market analysis. And before I go into any market, I do a deep dive on a market analysis. Okay. And they teach you the steps on how to analyze any market. But I've said this once, Anton, I'm gonna say it again. You can make money in any market. And I hear this from a lot of people that just, they're trying to do it, but they're not actually doing it. Kind of like how I was when I got started. They're like, man, where are the deals at? Where do I find the good deals? You guys want to know what my answer to those people is every single time? This is what I say. And I'm going to say it to you. Good deals are not found, ladies and gentlemen. Good deals are created. They're created through understanding, negotiations, and smarts. And the only way to get smart is to figure out how to learn. All right. Yeah, definitely money machines. Okay, explain a little more about buying the notes as an investment. So Michelle, notes is another. So there's a lot of asset classes within real estate investing that you can make money. Guys, there's so many ways to make money. Notes, tax liens, tax deeds, fix and flips, land development, short-term rentals, apartments, mobile home parks, storage units. Like you guys can get rich. Anyone can get rich. You just got to start understanding how to make money within an asset class. So I can't really go into depth about how notes work because we don't got that much time together. And I'm not an instructor. I can point you in the right direction. For me, I just like creating more relationships with more people to make more money, right? More makes more. Precious gains. What is capital gains tax? So when you make a big chunk of money, and see, this is the stuff, taxes is something that should be taught in the schools, but we're just not taught, guys. So capital gains tax is if you make a big chunk of money, the IRS is going to tax you heavily. Scott, what's the capital gains tax rate right now? I bet you know. You know, is it over 20%? Basically, if you make a big check, they're going to take a big chunk of your money. So it's not all yours. Remember, guys, what is it?
I'm trying to raise it back, raise it to 25%.
Woo!
Was 15.
Woo! Man, they're going to keep taking our money. And I don't think you should let them. If you don't choose to educate yourself, you're basically opting in to getting taken advantage of. And I'm a fighter. So I was like, nope, I'm good. Like, I'm in America. I know I can make some money. All right. Andrea Walker, is the profit from an investment that is incurred when sold? No. So you can make profit on rentals. You never sell those rentals, right? It's called rental income. How many houses do you lease option for that? Oh, so it was all the houses I just showed you. I think it was 12 houses in one little mobile home park. Would you like to know more about the database where you find these homes? So yeah, there's this thing called the Investor Operating System, and that's where I start my search. And then I build relationships, I negotiate, I use all the skills and tactics that I've been able to learn with the investor group that you're hanging out with today. And then I ask other investors questions. I'm curious like a cat, right? I stay curious and then I figure out what's going to work for me, my personality, and the lifestyle that me and my wife want to create. I don't know about you guys, but I'm an absolute freedom junkie. I like independence. I like doing what I want, when I want. Like all day, the other day, I just played basketball all day. I didn't do anything. I just went, played basketball. And it was cool because I'm allowed to do that now. Let's see. I already answered that question. And you mean the roof and the floor, right? No, I don't deal with flooring. I only deal with major expenses. And a lot of times if it's major, my insurance policy is going to cover it anyways. Precious, you need a team. Yes, you need a title company. You need an attorney. And you can't listen to what your professionals tell you to do. I want you to be the businessman or the businesswoman, and you have to direct your professionals what to do, okay? Too many people listen to other people and like, nah, you need to understand the rules and you need to take control of your lifestyle and your cash flow. So I am blessed. I love it. You are blessed. Is there a layout from beginning to end? I know I have to make this my own, but I want to have at least, yeah. So there's a layout from A to Z in the coursework that Scott was alluding to earlier. That's what I did. I copied the layout, like the skin and bones, right? So I learned it. And then I listened to it over and over. And I was like, all right, let me take the direction from people that are actually doing this. But then let me make the business model with a little bit of my touch and my personality and how I want to do it. So 100%, whoever I am blessed is, I just blessed you. So just get the information and go for it. Do you have contractors and inspectors for properties in other states? And if so, do they? Yeah, man, come on. Anything worth money, they're going to charge you for, okay? I'm sorry, things are not free. If I learned anything as an investor, guys, in life, you get what you pay for, whether you eat at McDonald's or you take your family to Ruth Chris. So yeah, I pay my contractors, I pay my property managers, I pay the inspectors, I pay my handyman when I need them. But when I'm going into a business, I know my numbers up front. I'm not leaving it to guessing. And I also have contingencies in place just in case things don't go as planned. Okay. Yes, it is. The business automation class is in our coursework. What about the fact these little towns are in the middle of nowhere? It makes much harder to get materials. Nope, not even. Not even. Where I'm doing stuff, there is literally the closest Lowe's is like 40 minutes away. Just making it happen. I put it on the people who want the houses, guys. They've got to have skin in the games. If you're just renting property out and babying your tenants, they're going to take advantage of you, right? There's a difference between running a business as a professional and running things as an amateur. And 90% of people out there, they're amateurs. And that's why they get into spaces, they give up, they run, they quit, they get emotional. So what else?
Hey, Amir, you
Yep.
talked earlier about hanging out with you after this. I know at the top of the hour, you're going to be having an orientation. That is on a different link than the one we're on now. So if you guys, anybody on today that would like to jump in and learn more from Amir, and he's going to go in more depth of what he talked about today during the property tour on a lot of those key things that were brought up from questions, just get back with who invited you and they can actually get you the link and you can plug in with Umair for what was that go about 90 minutes?
90 minutes or so, because I ask questions. We kind of, yeah, it's about 90 minutes. So if you have the time, come hang out with me. And if you guys really want exactly the coursework that I followed, you guys can write this down if you're fast. So in the beginning, because I had good credit, but I didn't want to just leverage only my personal credit. So up front, day one, I started establishing business credit. Okay, everything I do, a lot of the stuff I do is in my business in South Carolina. So business credit was something I started with. Then I knew that I didn't have a lot of my own money. So I took the self-directed retirement plan coursework. So I started setting up my own retirement accounts and I wanted to understand how they work so I could raise capital using them. Now I'm paying off, like when I'm not using other people's money, I found a small local bank that loves me and wants to work with me. So I wanted to learn how to pay off houses quickly. So I'm using this. I took a class called Velocity Banking because now I do my finances drastically different from any of my friends and family, right? So and then in addition to that, in the beginning, I wanted to understand and learn high level tax and legal strategy. So I took both of those classes. So that was like phase one, like setting up a good foundation. And then I took the buy and hold stuff. I remember taking a class called Managing Property Managers, because if you don't manage your professionals, they'll manage you or they'll even take advantage of you. So I took the buy and hold stuff. Managing property managers. Oh, and then I was sucking at my negotiations. So I took the negotiations class like 7 times. I was like, how do I get through to these sellers to sell to me and not someone else? So there's a negotiations coursework I took. And then what else? Oh, I took the multifamily day 1 and day 2 when I got the mobile home parks. And so because the way multifamily works is different from residential, and I'm doing a little bit of everything. And then in phase 3, right? Because I'm buying the houses, I'm doing a lease with an option, then I'm selling it on a note. I took a class called Contract for Deed, and it's a way to be the bank without having to worry about going through a long, drawn out foreclosure process. Because I wanted to make sure I had my T's crossed and my I's dotted. So hopefully that helps. So there's like phase 1, there's phase 2, and then phase 3. You know, if you just grind a little bit, guys, you can live an extraordinary life. Like, I'm really proud. Like, I heard Scott say he looks up to me. Dude, I look up to you. I see some of your houses. I'm like, I want to be like Scott Buchholz when I grow up. It's so cool being able to hang out with people like this on a daily basis. So, all right, guys. It is 11:46. Any last minute questions I'd love to ask you? If you want to hang out with me in our introduction meeting, it's on a separate link, and I can't wait to get to know you guys better. Oh, thanks, Michael Bunk. Long-term capital gains is currently 0, 15, or 20, depending on your taxable income and filing status. Cool. Thanks, Mike. All right, guys. Well, if you have any other stuff, I look forward to meeting you in person. But
So,
go ahead.
Umair, next Saturday, 2 days after Thanksgiving, we're going to be coming back with another live Zoom tour, and we're going to be featuring an individual out of the state of Washington.
Nice.
He's got an amazing story. I don't know if you've ever met Sean before, but when he found our community, he was already a real estate investor. He wasn't like you or I, you know, how we first started out. He had like 20 plus rental properties when he found our community.
Dude.
And, you know, most people think, well, why would somebody like that want to be plugged in with a group of investors when they're already doing investing?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you why. He started checking everything out. He was attending property tours like this, coming to some of the local meetings or some of the meetings online. And he was like, man, this is a group I want to connect with. They're like-minded people. I want to grow my business. And Sean's going to be talking next Saturday, where he ended up selling like 20 plus properties in Spokane, Washington. And he ended up turning that into like 130 properties in southern Illinois.
Yeah, man.
I
And
mean,
a lot of people get started with us because they're, you know, they already have an existing business and they're just looking to scale their existing operation. So it sounds like that's exactly what he did, Scott.
It's an incredible story, just like yours. But so you guys want to join us next Saturday? You can bring a guest, get back with who invited you. They can get you set up and get you the link. And I definitely recommend, if you guys have another hour or so left that you can share, I would jump on with the mayor here in about 10 minutes or so and listen to what he has to say. I mean, he's going to be able to peel the layers back a little bit more because he's going to have a little bit more time to do that. You're going to learn take away a ton of golden nuggets for what he's going to share with you coming up in the orientation. So get back with who invited you, and they will definitely get you set up and send you the link so you can join. I did see someone ask how to send me the link. Well, get back with who invited you to this, and they will get you the link, and we'd love to see you there. But Umair, you've done a great job today. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm sure you've touched a lot of people and resonated with a lot of folks. You and Yaz have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Just a great time to give thanks for everything in our lives. I give thanks to knowing you and Yaz and being a part of this community and learning from guys like Bill Omi. I mean, you mentioned his name a couple times, but
Love that
you know, I will tell you, just taking his class, you can't put a price to that. You will learn so much, and and then you will learn how to apply that knowledge. So thank you very much. Would you leave the group? We got just a couple minutes here. If you were going to leave some folks a final note, like just leave them some kind of words of wisdom or something to kind of, in today's call, what would you say to folks on today?
I would say, guys, I was thinking about this the other day because I remember being dead broke, and now I'm making better money than I ever have. And I was thinking about this. I was like, guys, money's just an illusion. Money, it's not real. You know what I mean? It's just, it helps you live. It's a tool, but it doesn't make who you are. And I've met some amazing people, but I would just recommend that everybody look at their lives and think about what they want to create, and don't let fear get in your way. I'm not saying make stupid decisions, because I know I've made my fair share, but I would encourage you guys to do your research and figure out how it is that you want to live your life, and do just that, whatever it is. I sit and think, I'm like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, just, man, it goes. And we'll be lucky if we live to 100. So I just want to leave the call by saying, you know, I don't know you that well yet, but I'm already proud of you for being on this call and getting some insight on how you can better your life, because not a lot of people are doing that. Okay. I would encourage you all to get more information and learn more about our group. Come hang out with me on the next call and take massive action, right? Study successful people. Cheers. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy holidays, and have a great weekend. Thanks for spending
Thanks,
some time.
Amir.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.